ODOT Secretary Matt Bruning, an old friend from when we were working in the same building, joining us here on the ride home. And Matt, as you posted on X this week, this is the second time in a week that some moron behind a wheel has stopped cold on the interstate.
Yeah, it's crazy. We talk about things you should not do on the road, and there are a lot of things. This is definitely one of them. And to see it happen twice in less than a week is, well, it's just insane, to be honest with you. But some of the comments I've seen on social media, it seems like these are two that we caught on camera, but unfortunately, it seems like it's a common occurrence. There's a lot of people that have weighed in and said, hey, I see this every day at this location or that location. So, it's just a good reminder to people, if you miss your exit or something happens, don't stop in the middle of the highway. Either go to the next exit if you missed your exit, or if your car is having some kind of mechanical issues, get to the shoulder and just call a roadside service to come get you and help you.
99% of the people listening right now know this, but I think it's time to take some sort of legal action. Reach out to legislators, because I think anybody that does this should have their license revoked and never be able to drive again.
Well, and that's assuming they have a license in the first place.
You're right.
There are a lot of people who are driving on either a suspended license or they just don't have one in the first place, which those are two separate concerns altogether. But you're right. I just feel like this should be common sense. And unfortunately, common sense is uncommon for a lot of folks. We don't typically post crash videos on our social media, but these were two situations where we felt like there's an educational moment to be had. And it just kind of made sense to share that with the public.
So this latest one, Monday, was like a glancing blow rear ender, right? I mean, it wasn't as multi-car as the first one here last week, was it?
Correct. And it's a little farther off from the camera, so the video is certainly not as clear and crisp as the first one that we posted. But why that driver did what they did, they pulled off when they were stopped on the left shoulder of the highway. Then all of a sudden they pulled into the far left lane and stopped, and then slowly progressed over towards the exit that they had just about passed at Weber Road and I-71 northbound. Why they did that, it's a mystery. Were they having car trouble? Maybe, because it looked like they pulled off very slowly. Was there something up ahead, a crash, or there was traffic stop that they didn't want to wait around in? We don't know. But what we do know is what they did was irresponsible and dangerous.
So, Matt, have they ever caught the first driver in that red van last week? And have they caught this most recent moron?
I have not heard an update on either of those. I think Columbus police are looking into both. I will say that we have sent a lot of additional video to Columbus police, especially of the first incident, because we were able to catch that vehicle on multiple cameras after they took off from the crash. So Columbus police are certainly looking at that. I'm no attorney or law enforcement, so I couldn't tell you what, if anything, they could potentially be charged with. But I can tell you that, we did send some additional video to Columbus police as part of their investigation. So where that goes from there would be certainly a question that Columbus police would need to answer.
Before I let you go this afternoon, Matt, let me ask you, is there a number other than 911 that a motorist could call to get somebody in pursuit of somebody who they witnessed doing this, or is just calling 911 the best route?
Yeah, across the state of Ohio, you can call pound 677. That will link you to the Ohio State Highway Patrol. And you can certainly report an incident there, especially if you don't know what jurisdiction you're in. That's probably a good idea to just give that number a call. Then the Highway Patrol can certainly sort things out. But the biggest thing is to just be responsible. If you find yourself in a situation where you have missed your exit or your car is having trouble, go to the next exit or try to get off the road as far as you can. Don't stop in the middle of the highway. And if somebody does that to you, the biggest thing that I can tell you, Woody, is you just allow that extra space between you and the vehicle in front of you. That's the other part of this is, we see these chain reaction crashes because people are driving too closely to that vehicle in front of them. Right. Something happens that they're not expecting. They don't have the room to stop and avoid the crash. And so there's really kind of two safety messages to share in this.
Well, I'm sorry it took another moron for us to catch up, but it's great talking to you, old buddy. Thanks so much for joining us here on The Maverick.
Always a pleasure to talk to you, Woody.